I live in Birmingham, Alabama. I am a former educator who is now a customer success manager for an edtech company. I thought this morning would be a great time to do a little budgeting. Let's go ahead and get started. So I try to budget twice a week. Normally I try to do a Tuesday and then a Friday, but because the 15th was yesterday on a Wednesday, I decided that I would go ahead and do it on today so I can also look at my new paycheck that I got in for the 15th, as well as paying any outstanding bills or credit card amounts that I was waiting on this paycheck for. The first thing I always do is open up my weekly expense and income tracker and my expense tracker form. Well, I always then go to my expenses and I sort this column B by Z to A. That way I can know that the last date I imported any dates was on the 6th. So I am a little bit behind, but it's okay. And then I also look at the last card I utilized. So with this, I know that I have no filters on because sometimes I will have a outstanding filter where I was focused on looking at one individual card or one individual category. But in this case, I have no filters on. I'm sorted. The last date I utilized was the 6th, and now I'm ready to get started. Now, I always double screen to go to my banking, so I utilize Wells Fargo, Capital One, and Chase for the different banking purposes. For the sake of my budgeting video, I do not plan to actually show that double screen. I'll be showing you just how I import it. So you'll see me probably talking about things on Wells Fargo, Capital One, or Chase, but you will not actually see that account. Next thing I'm going to add is an expense. I will add it on the 7th. This was Church Street Coffee. So I put the item, the amount. I did add a new category for our new 2025 budgeting where I just have coffee. That way I can see how much we spend on coffee because it does tend to be quite a lot. Again, I have been doing this for about a year now, and so I actually really enjoy it, even though it is very tedious. So it has really helped me understand how much we spend in each category, where we can improve on, how much money do we spend altogether, how much money do we actually make. So all of those outlying questions that I feel like were a little fuzzy the last few years of us having a joint bank account. Last year was a year of learning for us, whereas this year is, okay, we know how much we spend in each category. How can we actually keep to our budget? Subscription, $4.99. Subscription. Savings, save as you go. This section is an additional section I added this year that was not in the original template. I added this section because we do have quite a few different sinking funds. So we utilize save as you go. So every time we swipe or utilize our card, $1 goes into that savings account. We have our emergency/down payment fund, which is definitely my focus this year. Christmas, so I'm trying to put in about $90 to $120 per month into that account so I'm not drowning next December. A car fund, which right now I think we are okay. My car is paid off. We are currently utilizing Dustin's mom's old Camry for his car because it was just an extra car they had. Thankfully, she is letting us utilize that. We are planning to hopefully just purchase it from her because it is in great shape, and it would be a little bit more affordable just to purchase that from her versus trying to get a car note, because we are not trying to do that right now. We want to soak in not having a car note for as long as possible. Save as you go and submit. Whenever I do this, it also helps me to see, okay, who have I not Venmo'd yet? So for instance, we went to Insomnia Cookies with Dustin's sister Summer last week. We spent $27, which, to be fair, we were going to just go to the grocery store and get a pack of cookies, and I was kind of like the one that said, no, let's go to Insomnia. So I do feel bad, but I really did not. $27 for cookies. I cannot believe I let that happen. So anyways, I have not Venmo'd Summer for her portion yet, so I need to do that. And that is when I would typically jot it down. I'll jot down who I need to Venmo, the amount we spent, and then I'll do the calculation afterwards to know that I have that outstanding Venmo request I need to get. Alright, I have went ahead and imported everything up until today, so the 16th of January, and now I can look at each of my categories and see how we are doing. So in bills, we are right on track. Subscriptions is a little bit high, but when I see something that goes in red, I always like to first pull down, go back to expenses, hit filters, clear, and find just subscriptions to see why. I believe we had a yearly fee come out this month, and we did. We had a credit card Chase annual fee at $95, so obviously that took up a big chunk of our subscription category. I go back to monthly overview, look at entertainment, we're good, food and drinks, we're about halfway to our budget, so we do have some outstanding Venmos that I need to do, so that should be about $50 coming back to us. Coffee, we're about halfway there for our budget. Groceries, about halfway there. Other is in red. Now, normally I put something in other if I don't really know what it is. So this was something that will end up being a transfer from Dustin's business account. The reason why we did put it on our Wells Fargo was simply because we were lazy and didn't want to go get his wallet, which is not a great excuse, but it's the truth. And so we have $80 of some merch that we're trying for Dustin's new business. So I put it in other just as like a placeholder. So I'll go back to monthly overview. Shopping, a little bit higher than I would like it to be at this point in the month. Transport, we're doing really great in that category. Gifts, savings. So we have spent a little over $3,600 this month, but we've made a little over $7,600. So we are doing pretty good right now. Now, I did only add in our Wells Fargo this morning since I was running a little bit out of time. We'll be planning on adding in our Chase and then our Bilt credit card amounts in later today. That probably will change this just a bit, but I think this is a great start to kind of know where we're at since we do utilize our debit card more than our credit cards. I will continue making videos like this if you are interested in a little bit more of a budget with me series. This is really going to be more so also for me to focus on how we are doing. Are we meeting our goals with our budget? Are we meeting our savings goals? I love this template so much. It's really helped us this last year. I can clearly see where everything is. I have additional features such as a yearly breakdown. So if I go to last year, I can clearly see last year was a learning year for us. I've already established that where we put some budgets in place for each category, but didn't really always hit the mark clearly with all the red that we see here. But I love it because I was able to see a yearly breakdown. I also made a monthly breakdown because in the original template there was only a yearly, and I really wanted to see a clear picture in a pie graph of what a yearly looked like. Really great to be able to see how you are doing not only throughout the month but throughout the year, how you're hitting in each category. I'm also in the process of making some pie graphs for some savings goals we have. I'm not quite there yet, but I wanted to get some things in our savings category first. And since I added that new section this year where I know whether it's save as you go, emergency or down payment fund, Christmas fund, I want to make some pie graphs so I can be monitoring throughout the year how my progress is in those sections. But with that being said, it is 8:10. I do have a Facebook Marketplace purchase I need to go pick up. It was only $20, so not too bad, but I need to go pick that up, and then I'm going to go read to the students, and then I'll be coming back and getting my workday started. But it does feel really good that I got this video done and out of the way this morning, and if you have any additional questions, please leave them in the comments below. I am not saying that I'm a financial wizard at all, but I am ambitious and I want to have goals in place and be meeting the mark, and so I do think sort of educating myself on where we need to improve on, also having it in this video form will really help me and Dustin. I've tried a lot of apps and I honestly didn't like that it would get some of the categories wrong, and then I would have to backtrack and do the work anyways. So doing it in the front end, I'm able to clearly monitor our accounts. I'm able to clearly see, again, I have like 4 outstanding Venmo requests that I need to get done because I forgot to do it in the moment. And so now I'm aware, and now I can clearly make sure I'm getting those Venmos. I'm making sure that I'm hitting my mark on my different budget categories. I can go to Starbucks today if I want to because I have money in that category. That being said, I do plan to make this, if not once a month, then twice a month series where I just have a budget with me video outside of my week in my lives. But leave them below, and I look forward to seeing you soon.